Peace, y'all. It's your man Dave with my brother Quest, the man bringing you all things marriage, paying you huge dividends on your investment in time with us. We're talking about love, sex, having children, money, spirituality, life, communication, and anything else to help you thrive and win in your relationships. And guess what? This is grown folks' business. So get ready to make grown-up decisions. You know why? Because marriage ain't for suckers. That's the name of the program. Marriage ain't for suckers. All right, let's get into it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What we talking about today?
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. It's your boy Quest. Y'all already know what it is. Welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. I'm hosted by, y'all already know, man. You know what I'm saying? My man, my mellow, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for L. David Harris.
You know, I'm wondering if I should run these numbers all the way up, or should I turn the mic up? What am I supposed to do? Yo, you know, every time I hear this song, I feel like announcing the date. I feel like saying what we doing. I programmed my brain to do that. What up, y'all?
It's funny because I'm programmed to do it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now that I am programmed to do that. Every time I hear that, you know what I'm saying? The first thing that comes to mind is I hear you. Every time I hear that, I hear your voice with it.
Yeah.
There's no way to separate that beat and separate your voice. You know what I'm saying? Every morning, for those who don't know, you know, D and I are, D is one of the coaches for the UOU Mastermind, serviced by the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, you know what I'm saying, Dr. Eric Thomas. Mm-hmm. And that's the big homie. That's the brother, the big bro. You know what I'm saying? And I sit in that mastermind with D as my coach. And for real, one of the joys of hearing that beat is hearing your voice and the energy that comes with it every morning. For real. So when I hear that, I'm ready to run through a brick wall. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
That's out to E-Man and the whole UOU community.
That's what's up. So yeah, it's good to hear you, man. Good to see you. Always. And I'm just letting everybody else know that because I
don't know.
I'm not paying. I am not paying.
Yeah, I'm not paying. That was my bad. I hit the buttons.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go see the homie. I don't know. He live in your area, you said?
Yeah, he do live in my area too.
They say I'm Puerto Rican, but black is my nationality. Yeah, shout to Special Ed.
Yeah. But, man, it's a lovely week, man. Thursday is here. Tomorrow is Friday. The Sabbath is on the way, and I'm geeked about it. You feel me?
That's good.
For those of you who don't keep, you missing out. I get to put it down because we going hard for 6 days and we rest on one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for that. Thankful for the wife. You know what I'm saying? Keep the faith is always in my corner.
Keep the faith.
And praise God for that. Even when I don't want her to be, she in the corner. You feel me? So praise God for that. What's going on the island?
Yeah, well, life is life. Listen, I have
you know what I'm saying? Life is always life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So listen, there's a brother that I am down with. I won't say his name at the moment, but I've been wanting to assist him. I've been trying to assist him since he's a super fitness brother, man. I'll just leave it as simple as that. He's a bodybuilder as well, professional bodybuilder. He ain't no baby either, but he's still in the game. That's his thing. But anyway, he reached out today, man. I've been trying to help him get to the next level since before the pandemic. And Simone been dealing with him, working on him, man. And so something real positive is going to happen for him. Just beginning stages, but I want him to feel like the blessing of the proper beginning stages, like foundation stuff. So I'm gonna do a couple things for him that I've never done for anybody else. The way I'm gonna do it because I just really want to see him win.
Yeah.
And if he rides with me, then we'll see more of that. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is, man. Like we gotta run with each other and help each other. He's a brother. He's here. Because you said what's happening on Jamaica side, right? He's here.
Yeah, I love it.
And I don't want him to be bound to the mindset that limits him, you see?
Yeah.
So we're going to get it done, man, and see what we can get done.
I love it, man. Shouts out to Hermina and Ann Forbes checking in online this afternoon, man. Shouts out to them listening into the podcast. Yep. She said good afternoon. Good afternoon.
See, you people over there need to learn, Quest. You and your people over there on that side of the ocean or the sea need to learn how to be respectful.
Yeah.
Because listen, as much as people say Jamaican people are rough, I don't know. I can't speak on that at this moment. Listen, if you walk into any space where another person is, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or some variation of it.
I love it. But
isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I love that.
But there's another part to it. I gotta take y'all into consideration too, because now that we are, you know what I'm saying, EDT, you know what I'm saying.
So you're trying to say you're international? You're international, Quest? Your program is international, Quest?
I didn't say it. You did.
Oh, I said that.
Yeah, you did. You said that. And so being that it's 12:19 here, it's still morning time where you are 11.
It sure is.
It has not transitioned. So good morning to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Who are in CST time, and good afternoon to everybody in East Coast. New York City time.
NYC time. Shout to NYC.
NYC time. Yep. Shouts out to Ann. She said that's the way we were brought up. You feel me?
Yeah.
So let me tell you something, D. I've been navigating through this week. One of the things that I did as a result, because they heard me talk about the mastermind. One of the things that I am trying to do in this season, for those who don't know, I'm the CEO of The Greenhouse, a company dedicated to transitioning marriages from shaky to good, from good to great, but ultimately through phenomenal, while focusing on 3 areas: love, lifestyle, and legacy, which stand on something that we call the foundation, which really is relative to who you are as an individual, right? And as we are moving through this company, we're doing some wonderful things and coaching a lot of people, and you know what I'm saying, premarital coaching, conflict resolution, and a number of different things. As a company and as a leader of this company, one of the things that I realized in this season, because you're always looking to go to the next level when you achieve anything and you've been doing it for a certain amount of time, if you're not careful in terms of growth, you'll experience a certain level of stagnancy, right? And so one of the things that is major to me in this season is the ability to say to myself, all right, I've gone just as far as I can go on my own merit, on my own talent, on my own finesse, on my own gift, right? And my own gifting. And sometimes, you're not as developed in other areas. And let me tell you, one of the things that I love about me and you relationship, you know what I'm saying, is the fact that you are everything that I'm not.
Ooh, it's a coaching moment. I'm coming back to it. I'll wait for you. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, put a pin in it right there if we can. You are everything that I'm not, and I respect it. There are certain things that, because you are structured and you are detail oriented and very systematically minded, right? That's not me. Sometimes I got to be careful because I'm loud in certain places for no reason at all. You feel me? My blind spots, if you will. And so I realized that I need to learn who I need to be, not only for the areas that I'm strong in, but for the areas that I'm not so strong in. Oh, Lord have mercy if we had time. And so with that being said, I decided to get a certain level of development. And this is what the mastermind does for me. Why? Because it deals with not only my personal development, it deals with my spiritual development, and it deals with my business development. Right. So it's like it's 100% of the pie all in one place, which is a lovely thing. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we were having this conversation earlier on, and I had experienced something with a team member, and you and I always talk on the back end. And there was nothing wrong with what my team member did. They were doing everything that they were supposed to do. But because of my blind spot in the place that I was operating in, it felt like a little pin, if you will. You know, if you're getting stuck with a little pin, it can be a little irritation where you like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was in my word this morning, and as I was in my word this morning reading, God revealed something to me that you lean towards your merits. But what I want you to do in this season is lean towards the things in the areas that you're not so good in. Right. And I liken it unto, we always talk about we from New York. Me and you as New Yorkers. I don't care where we are in the world. We New Yorkers, and
straight.
Yeah, that's just the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, Bronx.
I've made that a behavior style, by the way.
Oh,
I've turned that into the 5th behavior style. That's what I'm just saying.
Telling you, it has to be, because there's something about that city, like if you come from there, if you know, like that's not nowhere else, right? And you see the bravado now when I start talking about home. You see the swag, the whatever you want to refer to it as, the drip, the confidence, right? There's definitely, it's not a conceited. For some people it is, but for me it's more of a confidence. Like this, like I've been born and bred in the bricks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's a hack for me, because like there's a behavior style people mistake me for, and I'm like, bruh, my levels are all the way down on that. But when the NYC turn up,
oh come on,
it causes people to think I have this other behavior style, right?
So to that point, and to my point, some people live in that place. Like they've made that place home. And what God was revealing to me, like, and I'm gonna say this, it might hurt a couple of New Yorkers, but God said, you don't live in New York no more. So while you may be a New Yorker in terms of your mindset, I need to get that out of you now, right? Because where you're going and where I'm taking you, if you remain in that place, like for real, it's going to be a hindrance to you.
So let's go with a translation real quick.
Yeah.
So God spoke that to you, right? Yeah. To be a New Yorker, in air quotes, the way we're talking about it.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. That's because there's nothing wrong with New York, because come on.
No, ain't nothing wrong with being a New Yorker,
right? So that's not it. So there's a level of bravado that, like, let me give you an example. I lived in DC for 20 some years.
Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker. So in NYC, when we were growing up, it was the murder capital.
Yeah.
When I moved to DC, it was the murder capital.
Yeah.
And I started to see my brothers and sisters moving in from the city with the quote, like the stereotypical NYC flex. And I was like, oh, okay, I see why people used to not receive me the way they didn't receive me, or the way they did. Yeah. I get it, because now I'm seeing it, looking at myself coming, like seeing people coming into DC from New York. I said, oh, I get it now. So there's a space and a place for the bravado.
Yes.
And there are spaces and places where you got to leave that and do something else. So God said what to you now?
Here's what's so dope about how he did it. We hip hop heads, because I mean, like, I grew up in the Mecca. You know what I'm saying? I was in the music business for a little while. And so it's very much a part of me and who I am as an individual, right? There's some stuff I'm learning that I got to purge out of my system. But the way that he did it was that I was like, come on, God, like, you, that's me. He's like, yeah, no, that was you.
That's our problem. That's me is our problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. But God said, okay, I'm going to speak to you in a language that you can understand. One of the greatest MCs that could ever do it. He's definitely in my top 10 in terms of MCs. is the man, you know what I'm saying? The one dude, Rakim Allah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Rakim said, it ain't where you from, it's where you at.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So you could talk about where you come from all you want. Where are you? It's where you at. Are you in that place and space anymore? Do you walk around looking over your shoulder? The same energy and same bravado that you had when you were in New York. Do you even do that in places and spaces? Now, there's a part of me that does because I've been socialized, if you will, right? But it's not because I necessarily have to. It's because of the way that and God said, that's exactly the reason why I have to remove some of that out of your system. Not the essence of, but that stuff that causes you to think and move and breathe the way that you do, that works for that environment. The environments that I'm taking to you to, the lives that I want to use you and David to touch and the squad to touch, you cannot go with, come on, the same way that there's certain people from your past who can't go to the new places with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
We quick to cut them off because, like, hey, God said you can't go. What about the attributes? What about the
cut the old self off? You ain't cut him off. You ain't cut him off.
Come on.
Yeah, and think about it, Quest. You're I mean, I won't say you are, but a major reality for your behavior style.
Yeah.
The flight attendant side of you.
Yeah.
It's all about how you deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are primary in that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean it in a negative, it's in a fully positive. So if you, Quest, are a people person, and I'll go to my grounds crew flex, right? Yeah. Whereas I may not be life of the party people on a smaller scale, I care deeply about people. So if that's the case, then the bravado has to go. That's how I am based on socialization. At the time that we grew up, it was always bare knuckle. That was bare knuckle. From the streets to mafiosi to, it didn't matter like what strata you were in. Like, think about it. The former president the dude lived in Jamaica Estates, bro. Like, that was money when we were kids.
Bruh.
But you see his bravado, no diss, no positive. It's just what it is, right? So do I take the bravado everywhere? Do I take that searing way that I think and do everywhere? And the big answer is no. Like, no. Like, there are real life people that need the essence of love. It's not always touchy-feely, but the essence of it. And sometimes, like, that razor blade in your mouth way just don't work, man. Like, the razors in your mouth, shout to the dudes that know what that means, just don't work.
So and I just like to make it as simple as I possibly can and move the way that, so you moving and grooving with some of the greatest thinkers in the world, if not the world, then in the country. You're going to these conferences and stuff, and you have access to places and spaces that the people who come from the same places you come from don't have access to, and you carrying a razor blade in your mouth.
Your thing is dinging. Your phone is dinging, bro.
Oh, I hear it. No, that's not the phone. That's the what's the name?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that's not it. Yeah.
So don't bring those razor blades in your mouth. Like, don't do that.
No. But I use that for as a metaphor for the mindset that we keep. You moving in places and spaces with this, in areas and places and spaces that you don't have to. It's not even needed. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Crystal. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. And in our marriages, I just want to slowly make the transition now. In some of our relationships and some of our marriages, you are moving with the essence of who the old person is in a new place. Imagine if I was in my current marriage, D, operating like who I was when I was married to my ex.
Mm-hmm.
me and Faith wouldn't be walking into 13 years of marriage.
Mm-mm.
And here's the funny thing. There are some that should be exhibiting certain things in their relationship right now, but you can't connect the way that you should connect. You can't be who you need to be because you're still holding on to who you are in terms of, what does the word say about taking off the old man and putting on the new man, D?
Simple as that. Like the old person only brought you to a certain point. And by the way, some of those points were not points you should have been in anyway. Some of the mindsets, right? Some of the people, some of the way that you moved. And that's why it was necessary for God to change us, like transform us, like move us from that station to today. That's not to say that we should act like we're not where we are, right? It shouldn't make us run away from the reality of our past. But the fact is, if we stay in our past, that means we're not developing. You see, remaining in the past means that we are remaining undeveloped.
Okay. So here's what's crazy about that too, is the fact that when you start operating in a place of development, it doesn't necessarily feel good.
That's because it's called development.
Yeah, I love it. I spoke to you earlier on, but it's funny though, Deep. We understand it, but your average person who may be listening to this podcast don't really understand it that way. They believe that development is like a course you take, and it is. But this is a rigorous course. Development is a rigorous course.
So it's not just in my brain and saying tick on the box, like tick, yeah, check. Yeah, that's right. Cool. No. I agree with that.
Yeah. And so what happens is development challenges all the hidden areas that you hold as a comfort zone. It blasts them wide open and exposes those areas. And the feeling that you get after those areas have been exposed is not a pleasant one. So then it causes you to feel distressed or stressed out, but what I've learned to do is to embrace those areas. It's the same thing when you go to the gym. I saw you today, right while you was in there sweating like a dog.
Oh,
you feel me? Mm-hmm. And I know you was pushing, right? Not only because it's hot, but I know you was pushing because I'm talking about you was dripping. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And so that's what development does. It pushes you, it exposes your comfort zone. It exposes the areas in which you need to hide. Right?
So you said I was dripping. I went in there dry.
Yeah.
Pause.
Here's the funny thing though. Did you the minute that you started sweating, did you stop pushing the weights?
No, I was like, oh, let's go. This is letting me know that I'm developing. I'm not fronting. Like I was, a matter of fact, I was using a new machine that's for your lats. And I looked to the left at this dude who's 6'3", 247 pounds. And I said, Fitz, why do we do this? And he's quiet, but he diesel, but he quiet. I said, why do we do this? He said, what do you say? Come my gym? Coming into the gym? And he just laughed, like he was like, cause we need basically to develop. That's why.
That's it.
Cause I'm there why am I doing this to myself? What am I doing? I could just go walk around the block like a bunch of times until, well, not my house because I don't have a block, but you could just walk. Why do we do this? And his big Adonis self is like basically the purpose is to develop. Like there's no other reason to come in here.
His big Adonis self.
Yeah, he's a big old boy. That's a big old boy, man. 247, 6'3".
Yeah, that tells the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
But to stay right where we are, D, like for real, there's some of us who are not experiencing the fullness of what you should be experiencing because you refuse to develop. And I'm saying that in this season, like I'm meeting development and everything attached to development face on. Like, what you got? Let's get it.
More sweat.
And here's the funny thing. Some of us, when we go to the gym and you experience pain, you back up off of it. Now, I'm not saying that you should listen to your body, pain is different something from burn. Burn
Now
is
I'm like,
something that,
quit your crying with your burning. I don't care if it burns. Oh, it burns. I couldn't care less, bro. Like,
yep,
quit saying that. I couldn't care.
yep,
That's me, Quest. I'm just saying
yep.
that's me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. The burn is the burn. The burn lets you know that whatever you're doing is effective, right? How many of you are in relationship right now? You are experiencing the burn, and you push it away. You get defensive, right? You put it on the other side of the room, whatever the case may be. You play it off. You run it off. You play it to the side. Whatever you do. Right?
Oh, it burns because my spouse wants me to communicate better. Oops.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, it burns because I need to manage my money and time better. Oh, it burns. Quit your crying, man. Like literally. I'm not one of those suck it up type of people, Quest. I'm not going to front. I'm not that guy. But when it comes to the things that cause us to grow, like the blessing and the benefit, I really ain't trying to hear none of that from grown people. I will listen as an empathetic partner in your development if I'm assisting you. But what I'm saying is, if somebody says something that you didn't like in your household, your spouse, if you are realizing that it is more difficult than you anticipated, or whatever it happens to be, all of those things that are related to development, you can cry, but at some point, you do have to quit your crying and develop. It is what it is. Or you can quit. You can quit. Like Ian M had a podcast, and I was not feeling him. Like I was not feeling his flow. Yeah. And they used it as a title. Get a divorce. That's what it was. And he kept saying, to get a divorce. Then get a divorce. And I'm like, E, stop saying my brain. I'm listening. I'm in the car listening. It's not like he can hear me. I'm like, E, stop saying that. Then get a divorce. And even the squad was looking at him and saying, like, that's E. You're not supposed to say that. Like, that's something I'm supposed to, like, these dudes are like, that's what I say. Like, you're not supposed to say that. And he was like, listen, man, listen. Some of y'all just not about that growth life. You're just not about the growth life. Now, I am not an advocate of divorce. I'm just saying. But there are situations where people are on both sides. This is what he was saying. And I was like, okay, I follow where he's going with this. When two people are refusing, I said two people are refusing to develop, they have one option, or else it's going to get real messy in there. So I'm not advocating, but he's just saying, like, this is what y'all are choosing by not developing. So just get a divorce, like, get it over with. And I'm like, wow, like, that's hard. That was a hard one for me, bro. I promise you it was a hard one.
Shouts out to Crystal. She said they ain't about that life. Nah, they not.
Yeah.
They not. But here's the funny thing about it, too, D. You said it a while ago. When two people refuse to develop, do you know what it is? Let me say this. There are people who are 30, 40, 50, even 60 in their flesh. Like they 60, but from a marital perspective or from a spiritual perspective, you like 16, you 17, you still in the spirit, you still get in your feelings, you still say all of this different stuff. My wife told me yesterday, we were dealing with something with the boys. The boys had a little disagreement, whatever, outside. So I heard them beefing, and Mason is at the top. Is like, so you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, me and Crystal was on the phone yesterday. So I had to leave her to go deal with them, right? Because it was going too long now.
So your two sons were beefing with each other.
Yeah, about something that happened outside. So I go in the room, and they have like bunk beds, and then there's a futon that sits in front of their bed. And I told Faith, I said, now it's time to, do what we need to do to the other room and put one of the boys in the other room. Why? Because they get into that age. But that's not I went in there, and I immediately started dealing with the situation, not paying attention to the fact that she was still in the room and she was still saying stuff to him. Right. And she said to me, like, when I'm talking to them, why do you always say X, Y, and Z as if I'm not saying something to them that's credible? And I said, I just put my palms up first and foremost because I wanted her to understand. So I dropped my voice real low
The
because I
bird.
know in the past, in years past, when it has come to places and spaces like this, I would get defensive, right? I put my hands up. And I know it's growth, not growth to my own standards, but I'll tell you why. I put my hands up. I said, I'm sorry. Same tone I'm speaking to you right now. I'm sorry. Um, that's not what I was trying to do, but I just wanted to make sure because he just kept going on. I was confused. I was confused. And I was asking, okay, you were confused. Now what? Because I wanted him just to pause for a moment and he's working himself up. And I just wanted to stop for a moment, just slow yourself down and think, okay, I was confused. What are you going to do about you being confused now? Right? So that's what I was trying to do, not necessarily to shut her down, but she felt that way, which means that even though that was not my intention, I got to switch the way that I do it now because that's how it's being received.
Perception is the reality in this case.
Right? So after that, I said, my apologies. You know what I'm saying? Caught real cool. And I can tell she was still a little agitated by it. So she left and went in the other room when she was done speaking. It's like, okay, cool. Let me just give her a moment. Went downstairs, watched TV, folded up some clothes. Here's how I know growth took place. I came back upstairs. And when I came into the bedroom and laid on the bed, she behaved as if nothing had ever happened. In times past, this would have been, the outcome would have been a little bit different. And even when I went downstairs, I was like, God, just fix it. I believe I made my apologies and I said exactly what I needed to say. And I said it in a manner that was loving and hopefully could be in a way that she received it, right? Because that was my true intention. Went downstairs for a little while, was watching a little Marvel, folded up the clothes. When the clothes were folded, put them in the basket. You know what I'm saying? Came back upstairs. By the time I came back upstairs, everything back again. Chris and cook on, go ahead and say cook and curry.
The Jamaicans say Chris and Curry, but Jamaicans don't say that.
We don't say that. We say cook and curry.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying when we're speaking this morning, this afternoon. Is it? Yes, it's afternoon for you guys as well.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. It's
No,
still
it
11.
isn't. You're missing. We're missing each other on communication. We're having a communication gap.
What I'm saying to you guys in Jamaica and places beyond the West, right? In the morning and here in the US in the afternoon, I'm saying that you really do have to embrace growth. Get the blank out of your own way. Get out of your way in order for growth, not only for you, because here's the funny thing. When I grow, faith grows or vice versa.
So when faith grows, you grow.
Yes. Why? Because in the areas that she's proficient in, if I'm in my right place embracing growth, when I see her growth is the catalyst for my growth and vice versa.
Yeah. So you said something earlier, right? You said you told me stick a pin in it.
Yes.
Dave is what I'm not. You said it a different way, but that's what you said.
Yes.
And I said it's a coaching moment. It's a relationship moment too, right?
Yep.
And by that, there are people like us, but for two different reasons though. Right? They're like us, and there are others who think they can't help us, but they try. They may say certain things and they'd be like, insufficient, not enough, can't help Quest, can't help Dave, because their perception is either we got it covered or we're too enough, or who knows what the reason, but I can't help. And they keep throwing things at the wall to see if it'll stick. Here's the coaching moment and the relationship moment. What Quest said was, Dave is all of what I'm not. See, Dave didn't try anything yet. Dave didn't move anywhere yet. Like, I did not pour into Quest at all yet. The essence of who I am, the essence of who Quest is, because clearly Quest is all I'm not too. So his essence in our friendship, his essence in our business relationship, his essence in every other way, how we kind of relationship we got, is the supplement. It's what we need. And if that's the case, then our marriages even more so. So Simone, before she does anything or attempts to do anything, the fact of her being who God created her to be is more than help to me. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a feeling of I got to be proficient. I have to be able to accomplish. I have to be able to do and deposit and pour. No, before you get into that, like the essence is to be or not to be. That's the question. Not to do or not to do. Before you do anything, before Faith does anything, she's all you need because God put y'all together. Before she does anything, and I want to say some stuff, but I'm going to get you off track, so I won't say it. I'm thinking it though. But before she backs it up, she's already all that you need.
All that I need. I'm talking about all that I need. Especially when it's ordained by God.
I'm glad you didn't catch what I said. That's good.
Yeah, I did, but I'm not going to dive into it.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, Quest.
You said I was going to get distracted, and I'm like, no. In the back of my mind, I'm like, no, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't.
That's called growth, people. That's called growth, people.
Feel me? So it's funny because, and here's the perfect example of that. Sometimes when God gives us a vision of what it is that we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to move, and we share it with our wives, they're going to take the vision and run with it, right? And when they run with it, they look back and they see you not doing nothing. And they come back and they remind you, like, did we not say that we were? And you get angry and you say, oh, she nagging me, or she always on my head about this foolishness. You married a helpmeet. The vision was given to you. You gave it to so the two of you can run. Now she's running with it and you ain't doing nothing. And she's reminding you and you saying she nagging. She's not nagging. She's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Be your help meet. That means she gets to question things. She gets to remind you. She gets to be in all things, she gets to be your accountability. What is your accountability? Someone that loves you, that respects you, but is simply not impressed by you, who you give permission to check you when you're not doing the things you said you were supposed to do, when you're not speaking the way that you said you were supposed to speak. That's what your accountability is. And that and so much more is under the responsibility of your helpmeet. So when she asks you questions and you trip, just know that you tripping and you causing damage to the relationship because she's on her game. She's doing what she's supposed to do, and vice versa. As the head of the home, as the husband, right? And I'm not saying that he uses that to dominate over you. No, he takes everything into consideration that you have to say. But if you blow my man off and disrespect him, you can best believe that wherever you're expecting this marriage to go in terms of a good place, it will not go there unless you stop doing that.
I want to use some old language, but it's a great principle, right? And I'm not gonna wax eloquently on it. But there's a text that says we're not to be unequally yoked. But it says in what way? With unbelievers, right? So if I'm a believer, then I shouldn't be married. Like I shouldn't choose. Let me put it this way. I should not choose someone, right? When I have the luxury of making the choice, I should not choose someone who's not on the same page spiritually with me, right? So that goes on both sides, right? But there's another kind of yoking I want to say. Like I want to take us to another level now, right? So our spouses, we are to be aligned, right? But Quest, you and I have a business relationship, Quest. So what if you, Quest, or me, Dave, chose to do business in a way that Simone, that Faith disagree? What impact does that
Guess
have
what we're
on
not
the
doing?
marriage?
Guess what we're not doing?
Guess what we're not doing?
Yep.
Because a lot of y'all out here doing business. A lot of y'all out here, if you're not in business, you're doing work. And your reasonable, sensible spouse is being negatively impacted by your decision in your work and in your business.
Yeah.
And for those who are juggling work and business. So if they are not, and they're reasonable, sensible people, are not seeing an alignment, then your business, your work can be killing your marriage. We have to be in alignment in all things. And if we're not, because think about most, what do you do most of your day? Unless you're not eating. I mean, if you're not eating, then maybe you're not. But the rest of us who actually buy groceries and eat on a regular basis, like most of our day is involving work or business or both. So your spouse is there like, yo, most of your day is burned up in that, and I'm not in alignment with it, so you're choosing that over me. You see where we got with that? That's a problem. Get out of your own way. I wish I had the time. We'd talk about it another time, but the things that I have stopped doing, and there's a money attached to it, stop doing because it was disaligned. It was mashing up the good parts of marriage for me. Half killing my wife. And it's not because I just wanted to do it. It was a part of my life that I needed to do, and she agrees. But there's a point where we both are like, yo, this is time for you to get off the bus.
Yeah.
You don't do that no more.
I don't even get on the bus if it's not in alignment, bruh. I don't
That's
get
exactly
on the
right.
bus.
That's exactly right.
But you said something a while ago, D, that was heavy. Like, first part is do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. There's a reason behind it. I got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And when I give up, when I got a plan, there's certain parts I'll expose and there's certain parts that I'm not even telling you. But you got to trust and believe that I got you in the palm of my hand. And a lot of the times when God introduces the vision to you, the way that it starts looks nothing like the way it like you intend for it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you're not supposed to be unequally yoked with unbelievers, because if they don't believe you in the smallest of areas, how they gonna believe you when God brings you the vision?
Mm-hmm.
And so now you unequally yoked with an unbeliever, and where it was supposed to be intimacy and matrimony and all of these pleasant things, they now serve as a distraction, and now you off course.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times, let's not even blame it on the spouse. A lot of the times, you the unbeliever, you say you believe, but your heart and your actions is in a totally different. The OJ singing, you know what I'm saying? Your body's here with me, but your mind is halfway across town.
Mm-hmm. So what do people do, man? Let's give them a quick takeaway, and let them get out of here, man. Like we're talking about getting out of, I think we said it just straight in the title, get out of your own way. But in what way? Like how we do that? Like what is that?
So here's the thing. If you don't come into the realization, well, first and foremost, you need to come to the realization that you are in your own way. And if you are halfway whole enough to start making some adjustments to do that, then you should. But if you realize that you are attempting to make these adjustments, and 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month goes by, and you still stuck in the same place, it is now time for you to solicit some outside help. I told y'all in the beginning of this, I have gone just as far as I can go on my own steam as far as my company is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
This next phase that God wants this company to go to requires a version of me that I am not yet. And what caused me to get to that place? Development. If you are in your marriage and you are not at the place and you find that you're stuck, solicit outside help. Do whatever you need to do to get it and go to the next level. Phenomenal is waiting on you.
Yep. Hey, Quest. Ditto.
Yep.
Ditto. That's it. We'll see y'all on the flip side, man.
Yeah, stay focused.
There you have it, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us. Marriage is about mutual love and mutual respect, and it works for those willing to make it work. Real talk, our spouses are treasured jewels given to us to make life better. And the sooner we learn to value one another will be the sooner we become the absolute best versions of ourselves we can be. Until next time, peace.